3 seconds to go. One last gasp for Edmonton. Bouchard's pass didn't click with Draisaitl. 12 seconds to go. Florida trying to end it up against the wall, which would be fitting. 3 seconds to go. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. For the first time in their 30-year history, the Florida Panthers are Stanley Cup champions. They made it about as hard on themselves as they possibly could, battling a valiant Edmonton team that had rallied for the adversity all season long. And Paul Maurice, coaching lifer, 30 years in the National Hockey League, has his Stanley Cup.
Here's your host of What the Puck is Going On, Dave Metzger.
What the puck is going on?
All right, welcome back into the Deep End Broadcasting Studios for another What the Puck is Going On. Second round is underway. Got ourselves a nice, exciting doubleheader tonight. Let's touch back on that game last night. Steve, you called the over in that one. You talked me into it. I built a little ticket. Had some other things going on with it. It didn't get home, but that over sure did. So good call there, Steve. But I'll tell you what, it's I don't think that's really the punch that Toronto wanted to throw. They just barely hung on there at home. Very exciting game nonetheless. But Toronto does take a 1-0 lead. So, Steve, before we get into this doubleheader tonight, wow, if the rest of the games or anything like last night, we're in for a real treat here in the second round. So give me your thoughts there on the opening round game last night.
Well, if you thought it would follow suit on Saturday and Sunday, then Florida was going to come back and make it happen. And surely enough, I mean, they almost did. We've been able to see these teams rally from goals down without a goalie in net. Florida does it as well last night. They come up just short. And just like you said, Dave, I mean, Toronto delivers the first blow. But is it a hard blow? Is it a soft blow? Nonetheless, they get the win. They're up 1-0. That's what they needed. And maybe a lesson to be learned for them as well. You know, they get up, they get the nice lead. Now they know they need to commit all 60 minutes and not let their guard down. Because a team like Florida is going to come back and make you pay for it. And they almost did. Good game. Toronto, probably the deserving winner at the end of the day. And they'll try to protect home ice again in game 2. So yeah. I thought overall a good job by Toronto. Just any kind of victory over Florida was going to be a good one at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's how they had to start out. You don't want to go down a game there against the defending champs. And Florida started out really slow. I felt like that was a game the Leafs, they really had a chance to, kind of make that a statement game. And maybe they didn't keep the pedal to the metal like we thought. Or Florida, as we've seen in these playoffs, these comebacks happen all the time. You get a team down 2 or 3 goals, don't change the channel. Just don't do it. Somebody's going to end up coming back. And we almost saw a really nice comeback last night. So very entertaining game 1 there. And we'll touch more on that tomorrow. So, Steve, let's get it started. Game 1. Carolina is traveling to our Caps up in the nation's capital. I know I'm pretty fired up. The rest of the Caps fans that I've talked to through the almost week break, about 5 days or so since the last time out. Everybody's real pumped up here. Everybody's rested, both Carolina and Washington. Some bad blood just a few weeks ago between these two teams. Steve, I don't know. This series could be the most entertaining yet. I'm fully expecting a 7-game series here with the Caps, hopefully to come out on top. Being the Caps homer, of course, I'm going to say that. So that's what we're hopeful for, but I think this thing goes all the way. These two teams know each other very, very well, and I don't think they're going to give each other much. So the over-under here tonight is 5.5. The Canes actually favored on the road. Capitals are a plus 120 money line underdog at home. Steve, I just don't understand it. I think they're the longest odds to win the cup now too. I just don't get why they're not getting more respect. That roster is deep. They're big. And they can play the game any way you want to play it. You want to get physical with them? They can do it. You want to get fast? They have some guys that are fast. They have experience. The Caps have almost everything you want to go on a very deep run. The goaltending is solid. So I don't know what the disrespect here is. And no disrespect to Carolina. They're a very good team as well. But not quite the team that we know them to be at home when they're on the road, Steve. And that's where they're starting for 2 games. So what do you make of this one here in the nation's capital?
That's a lot to take in, like you said. I mean, Washington is the underdog as the number 1 seed. The respect card is not there. And I think they're probably talking about that in the locker room. I think the good game plan for the Capitals would be this. And they want to win both of these games at home, obviously, because if they could steal a game 3 down in Raleigh, then they're going to have the Hurricanes literally up against the ropes and ready for the knockout blow. I would deploy the hit parade. Like you said, they can play any different number of ways, but this could be Ovechkin getting physical, especially Tom Wilson getting physical, delivering these punishing forechecks, and letting Carolina know that they mean business. I like Washington in this game. I think this is a great opportunity for them to win this game at home. They have momentum coming off. I mean, both teams have momentum, but they have that Alexander Ovechkin momentum. And everything that he's been able to do. He scored in 4 of the 5 playoffs games in the previous round. The amazing season that he has had as well. I would just find it a little hard to believe that train can be stopped here in game 1 against Carolina, especially when you are the known underdog and getting disrespected the way that they are. I expect Washington to come out and win this game, Dave. I think you're getting a great number on the 60-minute line at plus 170. If you're looking at alternate goals here, I mean, the Caps can definitely win this by a goal or 2, especially if, again, empty nets going to be in play here. Let's see. Caps minus 1.5 is plus 265. Minus 2.5 is nearly 5-1. 3.5 is 12-1 if you figure the Caps can get a 3-1 lead, and then 5 minutes left in the third period, the Frederik Andersen goes ahead and gets pulled, and he is the listed goalie for tonight. I know there are some questions if it's going to be Andersen or the other player, and Logan Thompson for the Capitals. 21.5 saves for Andersen. That's a low number. Thompson is at 25.5. I would expect Carolina to have less than 25.5 shots on goal, and I would expect the Capitals to have more than 21.5 shots on goal, to be honest. I think the Caps have a great opportunity here, and I think they can defend home ice here.
Well, that's certainly what we're hoping, Steve. We're going to find out at 7 p.m. tonight. But, it's take care of business at home. You're not going to lose the series if you win your home games, plain and simple. So we're hoping that they can do that tonight. So let's see if they come out with a little bit of fire. So, Steve, what would be your official pick here? I like the under in this game.
I'm going to take the Capitals here.
All right. Caps money line for Steve. I'm going to take the under. These two teams know each other very well. This could be a 3-2. The empty netters are kind of what scares me with the under here. But if the Caps can get back to a defensive style that they played towards the beginning and middle of the regular season, they were just brilliant there on the back end. So if they can get some good goaltending from Thompson and play that shutdown game that we know they can, they're going to make it hard there on Carolina. So that's game one. Let's go Caps, and we'll see what happens with them. We'll get back to that one on Thursday. Next game up, our doubleheader to conclude. This is a good one, too. We got Edmonton taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. It is in Vegas. Your over-under here is 6.5. I think these two teams could probably blow the top off of that number. We could see a 4-4 game maybe in this one. Plus 114 for the Oilers. Minus 135 for Vegas. I do like Vegas at home. Look, the Edmonton Oilers did a great job in round one versus the Kings, but the Kings have something to figure out there. The Oilers with all the talent. The Kings should have done better in that series. Now they're taking on a team, another very, very well-rounded team, especially at home, I feel like, in Vegas. And that building is going to be rocking. So we'll see what Edmonton does there in Vegas, but I like Vegas on the money line at minus 135. Steve, do you have some thoughts here? What do you think of this second game of the doubleheader?
I like Edmonton in the series, Dave. I know Vegas has been the popular play here, but I think Edmonton's the proven commodity at the end of the day, especially from last season. So I'm going to take a look at Edmonton. Again, another team was an underdog tonight. I think you'll get a nice payout if you take both of these teams combined with their plus monies. So the Oilers, I mean, they're counted out for dead. We didn't expect much from them from the Kings. And, again, they rise from the grave. Vegas, a little bit easier job with Minnesota. We knew Minnesota, as, feisty as they had become in the playoffs, probably weren't in it for the long haul. Maybe a little bit of a free pass for Vegas in the first round. So I'm going to lean with the Oilers here and just their overall experience getting deep into the playoffs. I think they can handle Vegas on the road here tonight. But it should be a wild atmosphere in Vegas for sure.
Oh, absolutely. All right, Steve, that's the two games for tonight. But let's do a goal scorer from each game here. We I almost played that ticket last night of the two goal scorers. One of them got it. Verhaeghe didn't get there, I don't believe. But Nylander, what a game for him. He scores within the first 30 seconds of that game. So he was on the board early. All we needed was Verhaeghe. And that ticket would have cashed had we played it. And again, I probably should have, but I didn't. So some pretty good calls there, though. Steve, let's go with our man Alexi Protas there for Washington. And let's go through a goal scorer here. Jack Eichel. And you're going to get almost 14-1 for those two guys to score. The Capitals, again, 5 days of rest. You got to figure Protas is pretty close back to full speed. And if he can start to find his game again like he did in the regular season before that injury, what a tool that is going to be for Washington. I would definitely expect him to get on the board in this series. If not tonight, it'll be sometime. But let's go with those two guys, Steve. 13.43 is the payout for that. So $10 gets you about $150 if you play that.
And if I'm looking at anybody, I'm going to take a look at the player who had a couple goals last round, and Jacob Chitrin for the Capitals. He's at plus 550 for a goal for the defenseman. And if I'm going to go ahead and pair him up with someone on the Oilers, then, let's see here. I mean, there's any kind of different number of players. Look, we even have an Evander Kane sighting for the Oilers as well, as they'll have him back in the lineup. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins seems like a player who always rises to the occasion here in the playoffs. So those two guys pay a nice 26-1 with Nugent-Hopkins and Chitrin.
Oh, you know what, Steve? I like that. I might have to play both of these tickets. We'll play the Nephew Dave and Uncle Steve playoff goal scorers. So we'll go ahead and fire them in off the air. One game we have. Let's get back to the NHL tab. I don't know why it goes off. Wednesday, game 2, Florida and Toronto. We'll just go quick numbers here. Over-under is 5.5 again. Minus 142 for the Panthers. So still getting a nice number for the Leafs at home, plus 120. And then we have the Dallas Stars and the Winnipeg Jets starting on Wednesday. Your over-under there is 5.5 as well. Minus 125 for the Stars, plus 105 for the Jets. Steve, I'll be excited to talk about that one tomorrow, certainly. Man, Dallas knocking Colorado out early could mean everything there. We talked about it just the other day. Winnipeg scrapes by the Blues. Blues gave them everything they could handle. Maybe that doesn't end up meaning much at the end of the day, but the Stars look like an absolute unit, Steve. So I think that's about it, unless you got anything you want to cover, unless you want to go over some series props.
Yeah, I mean,
we did yesterday.
So are you going to take the Caps in 7?
I'm going to take the Caps in 7, yep.
All right, so if we take a look at a couple things here on that front. Let's see, series correct score. So the Caps in 7 pay plus 480 for Washington to win 4-3. I mean, I'm almost tempted to take the sweep at 24-1. I really, really am. I know no one thinks that's going to happen because Carolina's that good, but I just think the chances there to win both games at home, and then if you can just win that third game in Carolina to go 3-0, then that bet is very, very. I mean, obviously it's very live, but you might have a team who might just pack it in at that point. So the 24-1 is very attractive on that front. The Capitals are 10-1 to go up 3-0 as well. If you take a look at that, so I might put a little bit of a small play on that, and then I might even take a look here at VGK. Who do you like in that series, Dave? Overall,
Steve, I'm gonna go with Vegas.
Okay, and I'll take Edmonton 4-2 in that one, plus 440 on that, along with the Capitals at 24-1. Let's see what the payout is on that. $10 wins $1,340.
Yeah,
what I'd probably even do at that point is just kind of spread that around on a couple different parlays, using the Caps to win 4-0, and then maybe Edmonton 4-2, 4-1, 4-3, something like that. Bet them all across the board, and maybe just try to have a little bit of fun that way. And it all comes down to tonight. But I think a good play tonight, plus 170 on the 60-minute line for the Caps.
Ooh, all right. I like it. All right, Steve, that's the doubleheader for the evening. Playoffs, you get these quick little shows from us as there's only a couple games to go over. So we got official picks. Caps money line for Steve. I'm going to take the under. And then I'm going to take the Golden Knights money line at minus 135. And Steve's going to take the Oilers money line, I believe. Correct, Steve?
Yep.
All right, so
I'll
we got a little bit of
take both the
differences
money lines
here
on
in the
these players
studio.
tonight. Yep. All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, Steve, I think that's going to do it. We have a nice doubleheader for a Tuesday night of some NHL action, and hopefully we're in for some good games.
Yep. Go Caps, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night on What the Puck is Going On.
What the puck is going on?